Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel where we discuss South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Hi, Bo. Hey, yay. Anyway, I am not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who is also a voter, and I do believe my views count when it comes to political affairs of South Africa, as that is how I take a decision of who to vote for. All right, and Advocate BUSISIWE Mkhwebane has resigned from the EFF. And I highly doubt that many South Africans are surprised that she has. And one of the people that I don't think is surprised is Julius Malema himself, as he once said that they are expecting more people to leave the EFF after the departure of Floyd Shivambu, who was also a co-founder of the EFF, and he joined the MK. So the question is Advocate Mkhwebane one of the people that Julius Malema foresaw that is going to be leaving the EFF or MK? He said, we know them. We are looking at them. We know that they will leave, but we're just looking at them. They don't know that we see them. So is Advocate Mkhwebane one of them? And also what I would like us to look at is the way Mogel said something different in the letter that she wrote to the EFF, and what she said on a podcast is something different from what I read in that letter that she wrote from the EFF. But anyway, before I get ahead of myself, let us hear what Julius Malema said after Floyd Shivambu left the EFF for MK.
It was expected fighters that some people are going to leave and follow him. You still think that some...
We're looking at them and they think that we don't know. There comes a season in politics where these things happen, and then you must not be overwhelmed by a season. It's like those people who spend all their money on Christmas Day because it's a festive season. So there's that kind of season which is taking place now. We ought to hold tight and make sure that we remain unshaken. They're there. It doesn't matter what they say from their mouth. It doesn't matter what song they sing. All we know factually is that these people have engaged in a double party. So the constitution of the EFF says, speak good and defend the organization, both in private and in public. And then you go speak very bad about the organization in private, and then plot its leadership. You know, what is holding some of them is the coming NPA. That they should blackmail us into electing them, and if we don't, they are going to leave. But they are long gone and will not be hurt by that. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter. So you can say this, but in actual fact, you're engaged in shenanigans that seeks to undermine the unity of organization. And go and praise a leader of another party in an internal meeting of the EFF, and still believe that those comrades and fighters will view you as one of their own.
Yeah.
So sometimes it helps the unity and the image of the organization not to engage in the expulsion of people. You just allow them to self-destruct. And that way you gain an upper hand. That nobody didn't expel them. They left on their own. Yeah, which they will do.
Yeah.
And some people have been saying it serves the EFF right because they parachuted here into parliament. I don't know. I don't know. But at the same time, I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all. I always tell people when I make videos here that I am not a politician and I do not have deep knowledge in politics, to avoid people to come, to avoid people having expectations when they get into this channel. But in my own lack of knowledge, this is one of the things that I got right in my prediction. Because I once made a video when Floyd Shivambu left the EFF for MK. I said, Advocate Mkhwebane, Kalnias, and I included MZWANELE before he left. Advocate Mkhwebane, MZWANELE, Dalimpofu, and Kalnias would leave the EFF and go to MK. There's at least I am getting there. You know what I'm saying? I am getting there step by step. But anyway, I'd like us to read the letter that Advocate Mkhwebane has written to the EFF. We will compare it later with what she said in that podcast. She said, the past 7 years have made me realize that our fight for freedom was in vain. There has never been a time when I felt my rights were violated as it has been done in the years I was the South African Public Protector. This continued even after I was unconstitutionally removed by Parliament and the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. I have encountered challenges and felt let down by the current South African judiciary, parliament executive, and more especially the mainstream media, who seem to have been tasked to target and attack my character. So, she also said, each step seemed more daunting than the last, and I found my strength dwindling. This is exactly what they wanted, to suffocate, humiliate, and treat me less of a human being. My sin was investigating the CIX, South African Reserve Bank reports, the CR17 donations, and Phala. My sin was delivering reports and findings against certain individuals who were offended and felt I needed to be dealt with harshly. My family was attacked. My mother, who later passed away, never knew peace after journalists harassed her. I survived many attempts where there were plans to take my life. And she continues to say, today I'm saying goodbye to you fighters. After careful consideration and talking to my family, they advised and felt I needed to go away, spend time with them, rest, and continue to fight for the vulnerable where possible. Now, let me tell you what she said in that podcast. Maybe I might change my mind and put the link of that podcast here, but I chose not to since I'm not bringing their content here. She said she felt underutilized in the EFF. You understand? She said she couldn't do anything outside what she was tasked with. So she felt like, when you know you are capable of so much and you are not given the space to do so. That is the reason why she's leaving. But she still spoke well about the EFF. She said their policies are good if they can be given a chance to govern. Do you understand? She spoke well about the EFF. But she said what she wrote in that letter is not what she said in the podcast. In the podcast, she said, yes, I will be resigning from the EFF. And I assume that recording was done before the letter, because she said, I will be resigning from the EFF. Yet the letter, we saw it today, and the podcast clips, I saw them today. So why did she leave? I really believe the other reason, the one she said in the podcast, that she felt underutilized. And also, some people are saying it's because the EFF is losing numbers. She doesn't see the future in the EFF. But I think Advocate Mkhwebane had plans to leave the EFF long time ago when the MK was formed. We all know why, when the MK was formed. And I still foresee other people leaving the EFF. I'm like Julius Malema. He also says it. I also say it. And many South Africans are saying it. Also, one of the people that have reacted from this is Floyd Shivambu. That what Floyd did, it was like putting like putting a finger in the eye of the EFF. I want to read what Floyd Shivambu has posted on X. He said, Advocate BUSISIWE Mkhwebane is one of the most disciplined, hard-working and skilled professionals I know. She never sacrifices principle on the altar of convenience. Viva Black excellence. Do you understand? And this is somebody that left the EFF the day the letter of Advocate Mkhwebane leaving the EFF. He writes something like this. Do you understand? It's like putting a finger in the eye of the EFF, and is like promoting Advocate Mkhwebane in advance, so that when we see her on the other side, we must understand that the MK recruits black excellence to their side. Hey, I kind of felt sorry for Julius Malema. Do you understand? I'm like that. I'm not the person that always says it serves you right. it serves you well, I don't do that. I kind of feel bad for him because he built this. Yes, he's putting a strong face. I don't know whether he is really strong or he doesn't mind people leaving, or I kind of feel sorry for the guy. And Kalnias came out as well to say this is a very wrong decision. I am deeply disappointed. Really, Kalnias? Really? This is this is one person I also see on the MK side. It's just a matter of time. That is my opinion. That's if they are willing to bring him on the other side. But I really feel like Kalnias sooner or later he'll be on the other side. I also see Dalimpofu there. I also see yay. And do you want to know what Julius Malema said? He has not said anything at all. Instead, he put up a post, let us celebrate the 80th birthday of Dr. Kaiser Chincha Kuluva Mutaung, the chairman of Kaiser Chiefs. Your unwavering leadership and dedication to elevation of our football to a world-class level continue to inspire us. Nothing about advocating Mkhwebane whatsoever. You see, if it was me, I wouldn't say a word until I see the person on the other side, until she does whatever. I would never say a word ever again. Even the ones that would follow, I would never make any media briefing. I would never do anything. I would just allow people to go and remove them from my lips. And remove from my lips and my mind and my brain and my soul and my spirit and my flesh, and just remove them. So somebody has posted this, said BUSISIWE Mkhwebane did not make it on the national list to go to parliament. Julius Malema removed a hard-working foot soldier of the EFF from Mpumalanga national list to accommodate Mkhwebane. Malema left with egg on his face again. Last week, I told you MK party is negotiating with 2 EFF members to join them. She is one, and another very senior one is also on. Who that is, let us wait if this person is telling the truth. And he continues to say Duduzile does not want it to all to happen at once. She wants the pain for the EFF to be prolonged. Thank you, Jacob Zuma and Duduzile Zuma, for destroying Julius Malema and his EFF. I don't know why. I just feel like the EFF is a low-hanging fruit for MK. Please don't come for me. I have the reason to say so. I just feel like because the EFF leadership fails to talk directly to South Africans, make South Africans feel heard, feel seen by the EFF. It's like when they want to address South African issues, they want to group the entire continent under those issues. You can win South Africans first, then you can expand. Win South Africans first. Let South Africans be on your side, because South Africans are the people that are voting for your party. Then you can expand and say, no, now that we have this, how about we do 1, 2, 3, 4? Don't have this total disregard of South Africans, because there's so many times it's been saying that, Julius Malema has been saying that if I have to denounce Africans, then don't vote for me. I don't want your votes. Nobody's saying, I highly doubt that South Africans who have sense are saying denounce Africans. No, but also as well, this African unity and all of that is more exerted on South Africa. Let me say it like that. So for Julius Malema to have solid ground in South Africa, it is very important. It is very important for the sustainability of the EFF. The EFF is the South African political party first. He needs South African votes. He needs to be understood by South Africans. So please, as I'm saying like this, I'm speaking from a point of me being a voter. Do you understand? I'm not a specialist. I'm not a politician. Do you understand? What I'm saying is, they have become the low-hanging fruit for MK to take people from them. Even the members in general, not the leadership now, the members in general from the EFF, because the EFF seems to have a bit of disregard for South Africans. There is that element. Somebody might argue, say, no, but people, when they are being, when people are having problems with farmers, their employers and all of that, it is the EFF in the forefront fighting those. But there's also that element of the EFF. Me as a voter, it ends up giving us that feeling that there's some hostility from the EFF against South Africans. I hope you do understand, you hear me. I hope I've expressed myself very well in that. So the MK, did you hear what Flo Shivambu said when he was at the MK? He said, we are not for illegal immigration and undocumented migration. He became very clear. He spoke like a South African because he left the EFF and went to the MK. So it looks like Flo Shivambu was suffocating in the EFF. He couldn't be what he wants to be. He couldn't speak on behalf of South Africans because he was in the EFF. So now it is very easy for MK to take members from the EFF. I'm telling you, I might sound somehow like, what are you talking about? But I know somebody has heard me. Anyway, Advocate Mkhwebane has left the EFF. We don't know where he's going, but I can bet my last cent on it that we're going to see here on the other side, which is MK. 99.9%, like a DNA test results, 99.9% that I'm going to see here on the MK side. So with that said, guys, thank you for watching my videos. This is South Africa Lately, a channel where we discuss South African trending news. So we do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Do have a beautiful afternoon.